We traverse the white fog. The music kicks in. We see the boss. Swords light up. He lunges towards you. The battle starts. Hello everyone, my name's Copperhead. Welcome to another video. So, I wanted to make a compilation of all the boss fights that I enjoyed so much in this game, and here is one of them. This boss is called Pontiff Slyvan. I think that's how you pronounce his name, I wouldn't know, really. He is one of the hardest bosses I've ever fought in this game, and I used to say in this game, oh, the bosses are super easy, there's no point in doing anything. Like, there's no point in fighting the bosses really, because they're just like normal NPCs. They're easier than normal NPCs because they're slower, some of them. But I ate my words on this boss. He's very fast. His moves don't have much wind up. They're pretty hard to counter. Dodging is just, you got to be on key each time. It's really hard and really fun. One of his moves was a lunging attack that would be like a spinning attack. I'm sure you've seen it in parts of the video. This one right here, and that was really hard to counter because it's got no wind up. It's got hardly any wind up. You'd have to look at his body language to know what he was about to do, and you have to sadly die to him about 30 times to know how to stop him. His second phase is him growing wings and like flying around the place, then creating a ghostly apparition of himself and getting even more deadly. It's just a really cool boss fight. I enjoyed it so much. I hated it so much. It's just, it was a very cool boss fight, and I'm glad that I managed to beat him, because I would have been stuck there, I feel, and I wouldn't have been able to progress. And sadly, when you're in the end game, no one puts down stuff to help you progress. So yeah, I'll leave the ending of this in, and then I'll carry on with the commentary. Our next boss fight is the Abyss Watchers. The Abyss Watchers are kind of like hunters of Yharnam that go and fight the monsters of this world, I feel. And I have to say, this boss fight I managed to do in the first try. The proof is in the start of this clip, and my god, what a amazing fight. And they have a really cool weapon as well, which I'm able to use. So yeah, but this boss fight right here was the funnest boss fight I've ever done in this game. Funnest. And it's just the pure, I don't know, it's like, it kind of felt, once you finish the boss fight, it kind of made you feel like you were actually skilled, because look how fast he is. He's incredibly fast. He has a dagger. He very just like flippy maneuvers and stuff like that. Not much dial up on stuff or wind up on anything. He's just incredibly fast, but he has low HP, which is you know, one of his problems. And then halfway through the fight, a flipping ally of his comes along and decides to help, which makes it all the more difficult. But then when you get out of, like, you have to focus on the main guy, because if you focus on that other guy, you won't do any damage to the main boss. It's not the person that you need to kill. But then you'll get an ally which will help you. So, you know, it's like you manage to get an ally, and then he won't help you with the boss at all, but he'll just keep that other guy in control. I admit I was probably a little bit over leveled. I did some leveling up on my weapon and stuff to have a better weapon and stuff like that, and I didn't know he actually helped with the boss. And then this phase comes in. Now you think he's dead, you're like, I did it, that was it, that's all I had to do. And then you see this. And the timing with the music is perfect. The way the music is really good in this game for what they've done, like with the boss fights and everything. And he gets back up, and then his moveset completely changes. So he gets a lot of lunging attacks and fast moving attacks, and he gains more range on his sword. His sword will gain a slight range boost with fire. So you see there, like, that lunging attack will blow up the ground. Then you've got these moves. Look at how fast he is, and that has no wind up. You don't know that he's going to do it. You don't know what he's doing. It's such a good boss fight. I really enjoyed this boss fight. And to not die to him once, like, that's a special achievement, that is. I feel like that's a special achievement, because from what I saw, some other people that played this were like, they weren't failing, but they didn't have as easy a time with it. And I'm just glad that I did it first try, to be honest, because it was a worthy opponent, and there he is. Brilliant boss fight. Brilliant boss fight. I really enjoyed that boss fight. Give a celebratory bow. Let's get into the next one.
No, I will.
So we come to the next boss, and this boss was one of the harder bosses to fight, because there's only one way to kill him. There's only one way to take him out. Now I was trying to like just hit him in the shins. He's kind of I didn't know how to kill him. He's easier to manipulate, because he'll do the same move constantly on the ground. This move right here, that sort of down, just plunging attack. And when you do this, when he does this, sorry, you can stay under him, and you can just, you know, try and do as much damage to him as possible, but it won't work. You need a certain weapon, and that certain weapon, by the way, is on his altar. So on his throne or altar or whatever you call it, there is a certain weapon. There is the literal bane of
Pretty hard to
uh,
find what I need as
of
well to make my
giants.
weapon.
It's like one of the only weapons that can really kill a giant, apparently,
I
and
can't hurt him enough.
it's just, it was one of the most amazing fights because of this weapon. This weapon made me feel like a boss, an actual like boss, a pro, a good, you know,
Yes.
a person that can take out this massive towering giant. By the way, this is Yorn the giant.
Yes, it
Yorm
will.
or Yorn, whatever you call him, the giant. Once you pick up this sword and use its sword skill,
That's
I
the
think
giant.
I died about 5 times because I didn't know what I was doing. No, I think I died quite a few times because I had no clue what I was doing, and this was live streamed and everything. I hope you guys can see it because for some reason I can't find it, but I have to say I enjoyed this boss fight so much, and it was just one of the it was the one that gave me the best feeling. It gave me the feeling of like being powerful, and I didn't know how to use the weapon at first. I thought, oh, I have to just slash at him and he'll die. No, you have to use the sword skill. You have to charge it up, and then you do massive damage to him. Really enjoyed this boss fight. Really enjoyed it.
I did 300 damage. Holy shit, that did so much damage right there. Look at that. One of the best fights I've ever done. Wow. One of the best fights ever. Holy shit.
Now we have the Dancer of Boreal Valley. One of the coolest looking bosses I've ever played against. It was a shame that I died to this way more times because one, it was a very hard boss. It's hard to find out, like her moves are very floaty, and it's hard to really place where you're gonna be, where your rolling iframes are gonna be, like your invincibility roll is gonna be effective, because she is a very floaty and, you know, sort of ghostly like character, ghostly like boss. But I just came from another boss fight. I didn't go back to a bonfire or anything because I didn't think there would be one, and this is what happened. I did die. I died I think I died 3 or 4 times, and I have to say, this boss is one of the cooler bosses. Like when she gets into a second phase and this happens, and like the amount of destruction she causes, and the way like everything starts to catch on fire and stuff like that, it was just a really cool boss. And just, I don't know, it was a cool boss, and you know, her speed and everything was what made me feel like it was a really good boss, because I feel like faster bosses that are hard to counter are some of the best bosses. The only reason Yorm the Great Giant, or the Yorn the Giant, was there is because he was a cool boss. He was a cool boss. You got that sword and he was just a cool boss. I really like that boss. Not saying that he was hard or anything, because there's no way that Yorn was hard. No way. He was one of the easier bosses, but I still died to him a few times because I didn't know what I was doing. But this boss, her first phase is a lot of, she'll do some grabs, she'll punch, she'll slice around with her sword and everything, and then her second phase is she'll grab her ice sword from the ground, bring it up, and then she'll do spinning every, like, I think every 10 hits that she'll do, or 10 or 15 hits that she'll do with a normal sword, like just normally, she'll do this really crazy spinning attack, and it's really hard to counter because it gets faster and faster and faster, and you can't roll enough with the stamina that you've got, which, you know, I have to say it's really hard to counter. And then you've got all these knights outside which will, you know, could possibly whittle you down a little bit because of you know, they're knights and they're really fast. But yeah, I really enjoyed this boss fight. I did have my my voice being recorded because I think it was after me speaking to someone and I didn't turn off my microphone. But I am whispering because it's very late and I'm just speaking to myself. So yeah, but I enjoyed this boss fight. It was a really cool boss fight. So there we have it, all the bosses that I've done so far, and this game has been fun. I've probably played about 40 hours, and I looked on how long to beat to see how long it would take to beat, like for me to beat on, you know, while just playing it normally with a bit of extras, and it said about 60 hours, so all in all, I've probably got a lot of gameplay left to do. I still have side quests for I still have quest lines for like the NPCs to do in New Game Plus. I have, you know, the PvP still. I can still do the PvP to have fun in the game and get more items and more stuff. Honestly, this game is on my top 10. This is probably my top 10 game of the year because of how fun it is. It's just I'm never I feel like someone that plays this as someone that plays this, I feel better when I play this game and kill someone in the PvP or just defeat a normal enemy. It's really easy. It's just really fun, and it's just a really fun game. You feel how hard it is. Like, it is a hard game. You need to do your best, or else you're screwed. You're not gonna win, and it's just one of the hardest games and one of the funnest games I've ever played this year. I've played the Doom beta. That was pretty good, but it wasn't like one of the greatest fights. Well, not one of the greatest fights. Sorry, it wasn't one of the greatest games. I played Battleborn. That was okay, but it got very boring. I can't even remember what else I've played for games this year. Really, Rainbow Six Siege, did that come out this year? I think it did. I can't remember. But honestly, the games that have come out that I've actually played, I've enjoyed this one the most, and I will be playing this, and I'll be getting all the DLC. So stay along the ride with me because you'll be seeing some more Dark Souls content. I'm not very good at following lore or anything like that, so don't expect any lore videos. Watch Vati Video or something like that. I think that's his name. He's a Dark Souls enthusiast. He likes Dark Souls a lot. He knows all the lore about it and everything. So yeah, if you want to know, obviously people who play Dark Souls know about him, but he's one of the people that sort of made me get this game because I saw the lore, I saw the gameplay, and I'm like, yeah, I need to get this game. This game looks cool. This game looks sick. I need to get it right now. And I did, and I enjoyed it. So, anyway, my name's been Copperhead. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, if you could leave me a like, that'd be very appreciated. If you could comment and subscribe as well, that'd be even better. And I'll see you guys in a different video. Goodbye.